The impossible detection Captain Zexthor was bored. He had been bored for the last 3 cycles. Patrol duty at the edge of Sector 47 was always the same. Empty space, silent sensors. Nothing ever happened here. He leaned back in his command chair, his 3 eyes half closed. Around him, his crew worked quietly at their stations. The bridge hummed with the soft sound of computers and life support systems. "Sir, scan complete," reported Lieutenant Varn from the sensor station. "Sector clear. No contacts." Zexthor nodded slowly. Of course it was clear. It was always clear. This region of space bordered human territory, and humans were harmless. They were traders. They sold food, art, and music across the galaxy. They had no military, no warships, no weapons worth mentioning. The Galactic Empire had no reason to fear humans. "Begin the next scan pattern," Zexthor ordered, stifling a yawn. Varn tapped his controls. The sensors swept outward, reaching deep into the black void. The display showed the familiar emptiness of space, stars, dust, a few asteroids in the distance. Then the screen flickered. Varn frowned. He tapped the controls again. "Sir, I'm getting a strange reading." "Strange how?" Zexthor asked, not really interested. "There's something on the edge of sensor range, but—" Varn paused, his face confused. It appeared for just a moment, then vanished. "Sensor glitch," Zexthor said. "Run a diagnostic." "Running it now, sir." The bridge fell quiet again. Zexthor closed his eyes. Just another boring day. Just another false reading. In 20 years of service, he had seen 1,000 sensor glitches. This was nothing new. Then the alarm screamed. Zexthor's eyes snapped open. Red lights flashed across the bridge. Every console lit up with warnings. His crew shouted over each other, trying to make sense of what they were seeing. "Contact," Varn yelled. "Sir, we have a contact." "Where?" Zexthor jumped from his chair and ran to the sensor station. Varn pointed at his screen with a shaking finger. "There, range 40,000 kilometers and closing." Zexthor stared at the display. A single blip moved across the screen, heading straight toward them. But the readings made no sense. The energy signature was massive. The power output was enormous. The speed was— "That's impossible," Zexthor whispered. "Sir, it's moving at 0.7 light speed," Varn said, his voice rising in panic. "Nothing moves that fast in real space." "Identify it." "What kind of ship is that?" Varn's fingers flew across his controls. The computer analyzed the contact, comparing it to millions of known ship designs in the Imperial database. Seconds passed. The unknown ship kept getting closer. Finally, the computer beeped. Varn's face went pale. All 4 of his arms began to shake. "Sir," the computer says. "It says it's human." Silence fell over the bridge. Then Zexthor laughed. "Human? That's ridiculous. Humans don't have warships." "Sir, I'm reading weapon signatures," called out the tactical officer. "Multiple weapon systems, heavy shields, military-grade armor, sir. This is a warship." The laughter died in Zexthor's throat. "That cannot be real," he said firmly. "Humans are traders. We've known them for 200 years. They have cargo ships and passenger vessels. They don't have military ships." "Sir, should we raise shields?" asked the tactical officer. "No," Zexthor snapped. "This is some kind of mistake, a sensor error. Maybe it's a civilian ship with unusual engines." But deep in his mind, doubt began to grow. He remembered the reports. Old reports. Ignored reports. Some scouts had claimed to see strange ships near human space. But those reports were dismissed. Everyone knew humans were harmless. Everyone knew. "Sir, it's still approaching," Varn said. "Range 20,000 kilometers." "Hail them," Zexthor ordered. "Tell them to identify themselves and state their purpose." The communications officer opened a channel. "Unknown vessel, this is Imperial Patrol Ship 7. Identify yourself immediately." Static filled the bridge. Then a voice responded. It spoke in perfect galactic standard, calm and cold. "This is United Human Space Navy Vessel Reaper. You have entered protected human space. Turn back now." The bridge crew froze. United Human Space Navy? Protected space? These were military terms. Threat terms. Zexthor felt ice form in his stomach. "There is no United Human Space Navy," he said slowly. "The humans don't have a navy." "Sir," Varn said, his voice barely a whisper, "the computer is updating. It's found matching records. Old scouting reports, unconfirmed sightings. Sir, this ship class has been seen before. We just ignored the reports. How many of these ships exist? Zexthor asked. Varn checked his screen. His face somehow went even more pale. Unknown, sir, but if this is their patrol ship and it's this powerful... He didn't need to finish the sentence. Sir. New alarm, the tactical officer shouted. The human ship just activated its weapon systems. On the main view screen, space lit up. The human vessel appeared, sleek and dark, covered in angles that made no sense. Lights ran along its hull, pulsing with energy, and every weapon on that ship was pointing directly at them. Sir, the tactical officer's voice cracked with fear. It's locking targets. It's locking onto us. Zexthor stared at the screen. His 3 eyes went wide. His breath caught in his throat. The humans had been hiding. For 200 years, they had been hiding. And now, too late, the Empire was seeing the truth. First contact goes wrong. Captain Zexthor could not move. His legs felt frozen. His 3 eyes stayed locked on the main view screen, watching the human warship point its weapons at his vessel. Around him, his crew was panicking. Shields up. Get our shields up. Someone screamed, weapons charging. Another voice shouted, send a distress signal. Now! Zexthor's mind raced. This was supposed to be a routine patrol. Nothing ever happened in Sector 47. But now a human warship, a ship that should not exist, had its weapons aimed at them. He forced himself to speak. Everyone calm down! His voice cut through the chaos. The bridge fell silent. Raise shields to full power. Charge weapons but do not fire. Communications, open a channel. The communications officer nodded, his hands shaking as he worked. Channel open, sir. Zexthor straightened his uniform and tried to sound confident. Human vessel, this is Captain Zexthor of the Imperial Patrol Ship 7. You are making a serious mistake. We are on official Empire business. Lower your weapons immediately. For a moment, only static answered. Then that cold voice returned. Captain Zexthor, you entered human protected space without permission. You have 3 minutes to turn your ship around and leave. This is your only warning. Zexthor felt anger rise in his chest. Protected space. The Empire does not recognize human protected space. These borders were established 200 years ago. Humans accepted them. That agreement expired 10 years ago. The human voice replied. We sent notifications to all neighboring powers, including the Empire. You were warned. Lieutenant Varn quickly checked his computer. His face went pale. Sir, there are records of communication from human space. Multiple messages over the past 10 years. But they were marked as low priority. No one read them. Zexthor's anger grew stronger. Low priority? Because humans were not important. Because everyone believed humans were weak. Listen to me carefully, Zexthor said into the communication channel. The Galactic Empire has 10,000 warships. We control 70 star systems. We have crushed entire civilizations. He paused, letting his words sink in. You have one ship. Do you really think you can threaten us? Silence. Then, impossibly, the human voice sounded almost amused. Captain, we don't need to threaten you. We're simply asking you to leave. And if we refuse, Zexthor demanded, then we will make you leave. The crew gasped. Several officers turned to look at their captain, waiting for orders. Zexthor felt his pride burning inside him. How dare these humans speak to an Imperial officer this way? How dare they claim to have power? For 200 years, humans had been nothing. Traders, artists, peaceful creatures who caused no trouble. And now they thought they could order the Empire around. Tactical, Zexthor said coldly. Target their engines. Prepare to fire on my command. Sir, are you sure? The tactical officer began. Do it. The tactical officer's hands moved across his controls. Weapons locked on target, sir. Ready to fire. Zexthor smiled with all 3 mouths. Human vessel, you have 5 seconds to surrender and power down your ship. 5, 4, 3. The human ship moved. It happened so fast that Zexthor's eyes could not follow it. One moment, the human vessel was 40,000 kilometers away. The next moment, it was right next to them, so close that it filled the entire view screen. Alarms screamed across the bridge. They're right on top of us. Varn shouted, Fire! Fire now! Zexthor ordered. The tactical officer pressed the firing button. Nothing happened. He pressed it again. And again. Sir, weapons are offline. All weapon systems just shut down. What? That's impossible. Use backup systems. Trying, sir. Nothing's responding. On the view screen, the human ship hung in space like a dark predator. It was smaller than the Imperial vessel, but something about it felt wrong, dangerous. The angles of its hull seemed designed to confuse sensors. The weapons mounted on its surface looked nothing like any technology Zexthor had ever seen. "Sir, shields are failing," Vaughn reported. "They're dropping to 70%, 50%, 20%. Reroute all power to shields," Zexthor commanded. "I'm trying. The systems won't respond. It's like something is reaching into our ship and turning everything off." The shields died completely. The bridge lights flickered. Half the computer screens went dark. The ship's engines powered down to minimum. Even life support dimmed to emergency levels. They were helpless. The communication channel crackled to life. That same calm, cold human voice spoke. "Captain Zexthor, we have disabled your weapons, shields, and primary engines. Your ship is no longer a threat. We could have destroyed you in the first second. We chose not to. Do you understand what this means?" Zexthor said nothing. His pride fought against the fear rising in his chest. "It means we don't want to kill you," the human continued. "We just want you to leave. We will restore your systems in 60 seconds. When we do, turn your ship around and return to Imperial space. Tell your leaders what happened here. Tell them that human space is protected. Tell them not to come back. You attacked an Imperial vessel," Zexthor said, his voice shaking with rage. "The Empire will hear about this. They will send a fleet, a real fleet, and they will crush you and your entire pathetic species." For a long moment, silence filled the bridge. Then the human spoke one last time. The voice was still calm, but now there was something else in it. Something that made Zexthor's blood run cold. "We're counting on it, Captain." The communication channel closed, lights flickered back on. Computer systems beeped as they came back online. The engines hummed to life. Shields slowly began to recharge. On the view screen, the human warship moved away, accelerating to impossible speed. Within seconds, it vanished into the darkness of space. The bridge crew sat in shocked silence. Lieutenant Varn finally spoke, his voice barely a whisper. "Sir, what do we do?" Zexthor stared at the empty space where the human ship had been. His pride was wounded. His ship had been humiliated. An Imperial vessel had been disabled by one human warship in seconds. But more than that, the human's last words echoed in his mind. "We're counting on it." They wanted the Empire to send a fleet. They wanted a fight, which meant Zexthor's eyes widened with sudden terrible understanding. "Communications," he said slowly. "Send an emergency message to Imperial Command. Priority Alpha, tell them we were attacked by a human warship. Tell them we need reinforcements." "Sir, should we mention that they disabled us so easily?" Vaughn asked carefully. Zexthor's pride flared. "No, just say we were attacked. The Empire must respond. We cannot let this insult stand." Deep in his heart, a small voice whispered that this was a mistake, that the humans had let them go for a reason, that maybe, just maybe, the Empire did not understand what it was dealing with. But Zexthor silenced that voice. He was an Imperial officer. The Empire was strong. The Empire always won. The message was sent, and somewhere in the darkness of space, the human warship called Reaper received a notification. The trap was working. The Empire was coming. The Empire strikes. And Fail's Admiral Krath stood on the bridge of the Imperial battleship Dominator, his forearms crossed behind his back. Around him, 11 more battleships hung in space like metal giants. This was Strike Fleet Gamma, the pride of the Empire's 4th Armada, 12 battleships, 300 crew members on each ship, enough firepower to level a planet, all of this sent to deal with one human vessel. "Admiral, we are approaching the coordinates," reported the navigation officer. Krath nodded slowly. He had read Captain Zexthor's report 3 times. A human warship had attacked an Imperial patrol vessel, had disabled it completely, had threatened the Empire itself. The High Council had been furious. How dare these weak humans raise weapons against the Empire? An example must be made. A lesson must be taught. So they sent Krath, and they sent Strike Fleet Gamma. "All ships battle formation," Krath commanded. His deep voice filled the bridge. "Spread out. Surround the target zone. If that human ship appears, I want it caught in our crossfire." Around him, the 11 other battleships moved into position. They formed a massive sphere, sensors reaching out in all directions. Nothing could escape, nothing could hide. "Sir, sensors are picking up something," called out the sensor officer. "Bearing 270, range 15,000 kilometers. Is it the human ship?" Krath asked. "Signature matches the description from Captain Zexthor's report, sir. It's just sitting there, not moving, not hiding," Krath smiled. "Arrogant fools. They think one ship can stand against 12 battleships? Magnify main view screen." The screen flickered, and there it was. The human warship was smaller than Krath expected, sleek, dark, covered in strange angles. It floated in space like a knife hanging in the darkness. "Sir, should we hail them?" asked the communications officer. "Yes, let's give them one chance to surrender. I want to capture that ship intact. The Empire's scientists will want to study their technology." The communications officer opened a channel. "Human vessel, this is Admiral Krath of the Galactic Empire. You are surrounded by 12 battleships. Power down your weapons and prepare to be boarded. This is your only chance to surrender." Static filled the bridge. Then a human voice responded, different from the one Captain Zexthor had heard. This voice was older, calmer, almost tired. "Admiral Krath, I am Commander Sarah Chen of the UHSN Reaper. We warned your patrol ship to leave our space. You sent a war fleet instead. This is your mistake, not ours," Krath laughed. The sound echoed across the bridge. "Mistake? The only mistake here is yours, human. You have one small ship. We have 12 battleships. Do the math." "We did," Commander Chen replied. "That's why we're not worried." "Not worried?" Krath's amusement faded. "You insult the Empire with your arrogance. I'll give you 10 seconds to surrender. 10, 9, 8. "Admiral," the human commander interrupted. "Before you continue counting, you should look at your sensors more carefully." "What?" "Check your sensors. All of them. Check what's around you." Krath frowned. He turned to his sensor officer. "What is she talking about? Do you see anything?" The sensor officer stared at his screen, confused. "No, sir. Just our 12 ships and the one human vessel. Nothing else in sensor range." "You're looking at the wrong spectrum," Commander Chen said calmly. "Switch to quantum band sensors, then count again." "Do it," Krath ordered, irritation rising in his voice. The sensor officer adjusted his controls. The sensor display changed, showing a different spectrum of space. Then every alarm on the bridge started screaming at once. "What?" The sensor officer jumped from his seat. "Sir, contacts!" "Multiple contacts. They're everywhere." "How many?" Krath roared. The officer's hand shook as he read the display. 50. 52 contacts, sir. All around us. They're surrounding us." Krath felt ice form in his stomach. "On screen, now!" The view screen changed, and Krath's world fell apart. All around Strike Fleet Gamma, human warships appeared. They had been there the whole time, hidden by some kind of cloaking technology. 52 vessels, each one similar in size to the Reaper. They formed a perfect sphere around the Imperial battleships. The hunters had become the hunted. "Sir, we're completely surrounded," the tactical officer shouted. "Every one of our ships has at least 4 human vessels targeting it." "How?" Krath whispered. "How did they hide from our sensors?" "Admiral," Commander Chen's voice returned, still calm, still tired. "You thought we were weak because we're peaceful. You thought we had no military because you never saw it. You were wrong on both counts. You were hiding," Krath said slowly. "All this time, 200 years, we were preparing," Chen corrected. "The galaxy is dangerous. We learned that early. So we watched, we studied, we built, and we waited." "Why?" Krath demanded. "Why hide? Why not show your strength?" "Because we didn't want this," Chen said, and for the first time Krath heard emotion in her voice. Sadness. "We didn't want war. We didn't want enemies. We just wanted to live in peace. But we also weren't stupid. We knew someday someone would test us. Someone would think we were easy prey." She paused. "You're that someone, Admiral." Krath's pride fought against his fear. He was an Imperial Admiral. He commanded 12 battleships. The Empire never surrendered. The Empire never showed weakness. "All ships," he said, his voice hard as steel. "Prepare to fire. Target all human vessels. On my mark." "Sir, we're outnumbered 4 to 1. The tactical officer protested. "I don't care. The Empire does not run from humans. We will show them the price of threatening us. Charge all weapons." Across Strike Fleet Gamma, every battleship powered up its weapons. Massive energy cannons, missile batteries, plasma torpedoes. Enough firepower to destroy a small moon. All weapons charged and ready, sir, the tactical officer reported. Krath smiled grimly. Let them see what happens when you challenge the Empire. Fire! Fire everything! 12 Imperial battleships opened fire at once. Space lit up with weapons fire. Energy beams crossed the darkness. Missiles streaked toward their targets. The combined firepower of Strike Fleet Gamma tore through space. The human ships didn't move. They just hung there, taking the full force of the Empire's attack. For 3 seconds, Krath felt victory in his heart. Then the weapons fire cleared. All 52 human warships were undamaged. Not even a scratch on their hulls. Impossible, Krath whispered. Admiral, Commander Chen's voice returned, and now it was cold as ice. You fired first. You made your choice. Now we make ours. All ships, evasive maneuvers, Krath shouted. Get us out of... The human ships fired, but they didn't fire weapons like the Empire used. They fired something else. Beams of blue light so bright they hurt to look at. The beams touched the Imperial battleships, and the battleships simply stopped. Every system shut down. Engines died. Shields collapsed. Weapons went offline. Life support dropped to minimum. Even the lights went dark. Krath stood in the emergency lighting of his bridge, staring in horror at the dead controls around him. What? What did they do to us? Someone whispered in the darkness. They didn't destroy us, Krath said quietly. They could have, but they didn't. Admiral, Commander Chen's voice came through on emergency communications only. Your fleet is disabled. Your ships are helpless, but your crews are alive and safe. We have not killed anyone. Do you understand why? Krath said nothing. Because we're not like you, Chen continued. We don't want conquest. We don't want empire. We just want peace. But if you force us to fight, we will win every single time. Krath closed his eyes. 12 battleships, the pride of the Fourth Armada, disabled in seconds by an enemy that shouldn't exist. We will restore your systems in 1 hour, Chen said. Then you will return to Imperial space. You will tell your leaders what happened here, and you will tell them this. Human space is protected. We have been preparing for 200 years. If the Empire wants peace, we offer friendship. If the Empire wants war, she didn't finish the sentence. She didn't need to. The communication ended. Krath stood in the darkness of his ruined bridge, surrounded by his defeated crew, and for the first time in his long military career, Admiral Krath of the Galactic Empire felt afraid.